Hi everyone, how are you all doing? Welcome to Cycles of Life podcast. My name is Jana and I am a meditation teacher, I'm a life coach and also a people professional. Welcome to Podmas, episode 12, can you believe it? It is a little bit behind, of course, as you probably have noticed, so I'm actually recording this on the 31st of December, so I'm very much jumping in a very last carriage. But I just really wanted to finish this project, if you like, in this year, so I can start the new year with a clean slate. The reason is behind is pretty obvious, of course. I know I've mentioned this before. I managed to get COVID, so I was pretty ill, so I couldn't carry on as planned, but I feel much better, slowly recovering, just feeling still a bit fatigued, but all is good, and I'm feeling significantly better, and hence why I'm here. So today I wanted to talk about, and of course it's being the New Year's Day, well, it's being the 31st of December, so tomorrow is the New Year 2022. Can you believe it? And that's why I want to talk about this whole new year, new me, malarkey, and what are my thoughts about it, and why so many of New Year's resolutions actually fail so often, and what are my maybe recommendations are, or things that I like to do instead of having very regimented list of New Year's goals, if you like. So that's why I want to talk about today. Let's jump in. And I know there are loads of people who absolutely love a resolution. It's that feeling of a clear page, a new start. To be honest, I am one of them. I do like it as well. I actually quite like January. I know loads of people find it a really hard month, but I quite like it. I have this very strong desire every January to clear things out, clear the decks, and start from the beginning. And I love that feeling. I actually find it quite therapeutic and quite nice. But on a flip side, I think what tends to happen that a lot of us set very, let's be honest, unrealistic expectations and goals, and most of the people fail. And yet, of course, there are a few people who actually stick to their resolutions and they almost manage to change their life starting January 1st, but it's a very small minority. And what I find most often as well, those people are the ones who've been thinking about these goals for a very long time, and they just needed this final push, and they're using January the 1st as the push that they needed. So I think that's why loads of people actually, well, not loads, but some people do it quite well when it comes to resolutions. But I think for a lot of us actually, most of resolutions come from a place of the fear of not being good enough. Simple as. So we're kind of trying to force ourselves into a change from quite a negative place, to be honest. It's like when people try to shame somebody into losing weight, it actually has proven to have the opposite effect. So you can't shame yourself into being a better person, or whatever better actually means. And especially post-Christmas, post-indulgences, loads of people feel guilty, which is sad, I think. It's sad that we walk away from having a good time, enjoying our time with our family, with our friends, by ourselves, enjoying all the food, everything around us, and we walk away feeling guilty. And I think that is really sad. So I think actually it's very important to flip it around and start from, actually, we all are enough. Just as we are. You are wonderful and worthy of existence. And if nothing changes in the next year, you're still an amazing person. So if you needed the permission not to set any resolutions for next year, this is it. Take as your permission. You do not have to set any resolutions at all. You're worthy, you're good as you are. You don't need to constantly change yourself. So yeah, if you needed a sign, you can take it as a sign. Just enjoy life and be as who you are. But as I said, of course, for some people it does feel like a great place to maybe create change that you've been craving for a bit, and it's just never felt maybe like the right time, or you just never felt motivated enough to start. So naturally, of course, the start of the new year can be a great time. So here are just a few top tips if you do want to set some new resolutions for next year, you want to change things around in your life. The very first one is be gentle. Be gentle. Be gentle to yourself, and actually really try to understand, where does those expectations come from? And almost start peeling away the layers of those external expectations that are actually making your life quite heavy. So if you feel that you should start meditating every day, but actually the only reason you feel that way is because everyone says that, even me. But actually, you've tried it, it just doesn't work for you, it's not something that you enjoy, don't do it. Because the only reason you're doing is because you think that you should. And it's just not a great place to start though, is it? Same as with maybe your resolution is to run a 10k or a half marathon. Again, you hate running. You much rather do a walk or go for a swim or go on a cycle, whatever that is. So actually, again, it's peeling away those layers of external expectation. Is that your expectation or someone else's? So be nicer to yourselves. So really try to think, why do you want to achieve this particular goal? And what will happen when you actually get there as well? So as I said, kind of gentle goals instead of very regimented list of impossible things that will just end up making you feel worse about yourselves that they don't come true. Another good top tip is actually what I like to do is envisioning and future myself instead. So I know I've mentioned meditation. If you listen regularly, you know that I am a meditation teacher, so I do try to regularly meditate. So what I do actually, I go through a meditation and I try to envision, where do I want to be? What kind of person do I want to be in a year's time, 12 months time, it doesn't matter, a few years time. And starting there, and then thinking, what are the small steps that I can take that will get me there, that will take me there? Maybe that is very simple things like going for a walk twice a week or drinking less coffee, because we think that these are small insignificant goals, but actually overall they can add quite a lot to your life. And if you can commit to doing something consistently, the change could be quite dramatic. So yeah, be gentle, envision the future you. Why do you want to get where you want to get to? What will happen when you get there? And what can you do now? What small steps can you take straight away? Because the reason why loads of New Year's resolutions don't work is because, again, they come from the place of fear not being good enough. It's that feeling, I must be better. And often it comes from the outside expectations, kind of our distorted vision of what we should be like. So instead, actually, let's swap it to, I love myself, and this is how I can be even better. Another way that loads of resolutions fail is because they're very, very broad. I mean, the classic one is lose weight. It's not as simple, is it? You can't just go and lose weight. There's a lot of what goes into that. Maybe you have a very unhealthy relationship with food. Actually, maybe that's what you need to be focusing on and healing your relationship with food. Maybe it's because you just don't have enough information, so actually you need to learn more about nutrition, what can help you. So again, maybe you can work with a nutritionist. Or maybe you just need more movement. Maybe you can need some lifestyle choices. Maybe you need to go to bed early so you actually get enough sleep every night. There's so much that goes into a very broad goal like lose weight. So actually really breaking it down and understanding what will help you, what can help you to get there better. And actually I will link some of the my blog posts I've written previously that might help you when it comes to goal setting as well. And another reason why a lot of resolutions don't work is people create them in a very negative way. So for example, I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to do that, or to stop overeating. Sorry, I'm just using that, it's a very easy example. So instead of that, actually, let's swap it and let's use bring more of, and whatever that is. So instead of just saying stop doing this or don't do that, bring more of. So try to swap them and make them a bit more positive. And actually, if you want to learn more about how to create new habits, because actually it's an incredibly hard thing to do. It's really, really hard to do. But I do recommend a book that's called Atomic Habits. It's just brilliant. It's written by James Clear, and just he breaks it down and talks about it. I think it's one of the best habit books that I've ever read before, and I've read quite a few. So yeah, I can strongly recommend that as well. So yeah, these are kind of just my musings and my thoughts when it comes to resolutions, why they don't work, and what can we do to make a bit better. But the things that I like to do actually, and something that I've literally just done before I sat down to record this episode, is I like to write a letter to myself. So this year I used a very nice postcard. So I just wrote myself a letter, where I want to be next year, and more importantly, how do I want to feel through the year? What do I want to be working on? What qualities or what feelings, whatever that is. So actually, I will share that with you. And what I said this year, I want to stop trying to force myself into a box and just simply focus on being simply happier every single day. That's it. I want to feel more grounded. So regular meditation, regular movement, eating better, but just so it makes me feel better in my body, spending time outside. And actually, I just want to continue doing things that I've been doing already. Reading books, learning, maybe completing more courses, but more importantly, sharing with others and hopefully helping others to live life just a little bit better, just be a little bit happier in where they are. So that is it for today. So thank you so much for listening. I cannot believe that I've recorded more than 30 episodes this year. I don't think last year I thought I will get there. So thank you so much for your support. It does mean actually millions. It means so much to me. So thank you so much. I would really appreciate if you subscribe, if you share with others, if you rate it as well. So if you're listening on Spotify, you can actually rate podcasts as well. So I would greatly appreciate those 5 stars, because again, they just help podcasts to grow and develop. But yeah, thank you so much everyone. Tune in for next year. I have loads of plans, hopefully loads of new interviews as well. And actually, if you would like to be on this podcast as a guest, let me know. I'm always open. So thank you so much everyone, and I'll speak to you next year. Have a wonderful New Year's. Bye.